a lovely day, and we have such visionary peoples out here, and it's my pleasure to have a gentleman who is absolutely influential, and what a presentation that you gave.
Thank
It was
you.
absolutely amazing. We have Dr. Byron here with us. Warmest welcome.
Thank you.
All right. I have one question which I really want to ask you. You received an award here, or you will be receiving it?
I did this morning.
Many congratulations.
Thank you.
What does it mean to you?
I think it's a culmination of really wanting to have a legacy of developing others and lifting up others. In my keynote this morning, I talked about the old English definition of leader, that is to lift up or to bring forward. And that's what I want to be remembered for. And that to me is what that all means, is that I've been that person who has loved others and tried to bring them along in the world.
Lovely. Absolutely inspiring. Okay, my next question is, who has been your biggest influence or your biggest support system during your journey towards success?
Ooh, that's an incredible question. I have two that really come to mind. One, when I was in college, was one of my advisors who really saw something in me that he wanted me to become a teacher, and that was not what I was going to college for at the time. And so it meant that I was actually an animal science major at Purdue at the time.
Okay.
And Dr. Jones said, "I see something in you, I think you should be a teacher." And I said, "Man, I'm halfway through, I don't want to add more." And he said, "I will make sure that you get out on time and you'll have both degrees if you do it." He said, "You're a good enough student."
Wow.
And to me, that was a turning point in my career, because I had a role model at that point who, when he said he was going to do that, he did it. And I know he had to go to bat for me a few times to get things to work out, to make it all happen. And so that was a role model. And then my supervising teacher, when I was getting ready to start teaching, was a person who I believe gave me that role model of how I try to be and love others and help others get to where they need to be. And he became a principal. I ended up teaching where he was. Then when he was a superintendent, I started a new program at his school. He was one of those people that knew when I was ready for the next step, and he was there. And was present. You know, I talked about that presence piece this morning, and he was always present when I needed him to be present. So those would be two that really come to mind. There's been a lot, because it takes a village to get me where I'm going. But
if you have to
those
mention
two,
one or two,
yeah, those two really come to mind.
You know, the first gentleman whom you mentioned really makes me realize that sometimes we need a second person to tell us not what we really want to do, but what we are really good at. And I think he was the man who made you recognize that.
Yes.
Okay, my next question to you is, I would really like to ask you this. What values or principles have guided you towards success? I really personally also want to know that.
Okay, so one, and I mentioned this morning, that is a value of mine, that I do believe that everybody's a leader and everybody should lead where they are. So that is one of my cores. Then other things come to, so when I think about my own core values, right?
Yes.
One is, I'm not a glass half full person. I need a bigger glass, right? And so I think that's the first one.
Okay.
And then I always say never cookie cutter, because I don't think anything should be cookie cutter in life to where it's, you can't have a template for everybody, right? We've talked, it's interesting, since my talk this morning, because I've been keeping track, we have said human 37 times now.
Yes.
And so if we're going to truly look at the human side of things, it can't be cookie cutter. I have to do what's right for you.
Yes.
I have to do what's right for the next person. And so that's another one. And then integrity plays into that as well. Doing what you say you're going to do, and the whole truth. And it's amazing that we have to talk about that, but it seems like the world we're in, that doesn't come to the top of people's list, right? And then I think the last thing I would say is, how do you continually be curious and get better? Curiosity is a big deal to me. I'm curious about a lot of things. Even coming here, I spent yesterday out exploring in the because I wanted to know more about it, right? And learn more about it. So curiosity is a big piece of that.
Wow. I think it's a pleasure, or I should say it's an honor to be sitting with such visionary people. And
appreciate that.
What a lovely thought that you have. Each of your questions, that the way you have answered have been so impactful. I wish I could talk more and more, but many, many congratulations. May you keep widening and broadening your legacy like this, and lovely, lovely interviewing you.
Thank you.
Thank you
I
for your
appreciate
time.
that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.